Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful family.
Welcome back.
Thank you for coming in to bless us today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, family. Thank you, Christ family. Gonna take today's lesson, sis?
I will.
Thank you.
Uh, Lesson 279, Creation's Freedom Promises My Own. Creation's freedom promises my own. The end of dreams is promised me because God's Son is not abandoned by his love. Only in dreams is there a time when he appears to be in prison and awaits a future freedom, if it be at all. Yet, in reality, his dreams are gone, with truth established in their place. And now is freedom his already. Should I wait in chains which have been severed for release, when God is offering me freedom now? I will accept your promises today and give my faith to them. My Father loves the Son whom he created as his own. Would you withhold the gifts you gave to me? So can
Wow.
we
Yeah.
unpack this? Because I've got a couple of notes here in the beginning. Creation's freedom promises my own. Creation's freedom has got to be all-encompassing love without opposite, eternally, right? That's what we are. We are part of God, right? We belong to God. So it's all-encompassing love with no opposite, which means sin, guilt, and fear, along with their effects, do not exist except in a dream of our choosing.
Mm-hmm.
So coming back to there being no opponent to love, that means there's no interruption of love.
Right.
There can't be. Freedom from fear and all of its effects. That's what's really here.
Yes.
But in the dream, we still mistakenly believe that fear and all of, its offshoots like anger, guilt, blame, sickness, death, victim, perpetrator, or whatever, we still believe that fear is a power equal to love. Right?
Right. Or at least,
That
yes.
fear and its offshoots are just as real as what love is. That's what we do. That's what we believe. And
Right.
this is why forgiveness of our split mind is the single cure for that split between fear and love. Right? Did you want to add anything to that, sis?
But for the split mind, but for the fear that we have introduced into our thinking and the images that arise because we want them there to fuel the mind with fear, right? Without that fear, there's just uninterrupted, unopposed love and its creation, which is always spiritual and perfect, is right here, right now. Fear prevents us from experiencing what is at hand, and it's ours, given to us as our inheritance. And this lesson is really flushing out a big egoic trap that we fall into. And myself have seen myself included in this many times, that our salvation is at some future time, that correction has a process that it requires to go through, that I must become not the sinner, but become purified before, God I can be forgiven. There's some sense that we're apart and coming unto, okay? And that's going to take time in the dream. And the ego loves that, right? Because it keeps us blind to the fact that our perfection, our innocence, the way we are created, is actually ongoing right where you are right now. And so it can be experienced on the dime, on the spot, which is why Jesus could heal instantaneously, right? Notice that it says, should I wait in chains which have been severed? Okay, Jesus already severed all the chains, all those false images that we had given our consent and belief to. He came through and he annihilated them, including the biggest one, death, right? So should I wait in chains when God is offering me freedom now? I mean, that's really the question. It's like, you can accept it now. And oftentimes when things take time, because we've interposed that belief that it takes time, then we pass the buck onto God. Well, God, here I am. Why aren't you answering me? I must not be worthy, or God is punishing me, or God is withholding. How many times have you railed against God because something that's haunting you or troubling you has not been solved? Yes? Recognize that this is the ego's defense, saying it's real, it takes time, there has to be a process, you're not there yet, or the best one, God hasn't found you worthy yet. You haven't suffered enough. This is all just layers of egoic defense. Let's recognize that. We can turn from all of that and say what remains for the correction is a deep desire to know myself as the Son of God I am, without anything that I have tried to add to it. Again, we hit our knees, we surrender what we are not, and in deep humility, with greatest reverence to God, I accept you, God, and myself as you created me. I honor you, God. I have no other gods before you. I only want the truth now. I'm forgiving everything that I thought I made to block myself from your memory. Here I am, Lord, as you created me to be. I am pure, healthy, whole, innocent, divine. My name is Christ. I have never changed. Father, I restore your kingdom. That's what's going on now, right now. Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah. It's ours now. Here now. This is our inheritance. Yeah.
And another name for what you've just beautifully described there is the atonement.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Jesus refers to it many, many times. And before we can actually really give or receive a miracle, we must remember our sole responsibility, which is to accept the atonement for ourselves. And in that accepting, we're accepting that Jesus has already severed the chains through his resurrection. The dream is already over.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to fix.
That's it.
There is no sin. There never was. Can we receive it?
Yeah.
Really receive it.
Can we just join for a moment? Because I'm just deeply, deeply receiving this for all of us right now.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Felt that.
Yeah.
Thank
No words. I just love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's 279.
you. Creation's freedom promises my own. It sure does.
Yes, it does.
And thank you, beautiful family, for receiving this with us deeply in your heart. Thank
That's
you.
all there is to do.
There's nothing to do except to receive.
What has been given.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
How loved are we? All right. We'll
And
see
thank you,
next time.
sis.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the joining.